everyone, it's Di here from Di's Den and welcome to another Sunday video. And this I believe is the last one for March. Wow, where has this time gone? So today we're going to do this card and it's called a centre pop-up card with a bookmark. So there's the bookmark here, like so. How beautiful is that? I have an idea, and it's great for a man or a woman. I've done this one in these colours for that. I've seen this done and nobody puts anything in here. I did because I thought it looked bare in there. That's me, but there you go. So this was my first one. Well, actually it's my second one. My first one's still sitting over on the desk because I haven't finished it yet, because I couldn't think of what I wanted to put on it. So this was my first one, and I'm not using this tag top punch. I'll get that right. I'm going to actually round the corners and put a hole in it so I can show you either way. So if you've got this punch or decorative punch to put on the top, that's great. If not, then rounding it all the way around and just popping it in there will be great as well. So that's how it goes. It pops out in the middle like that and it stands up nicely, but I think just having that blank there, I don't know, it just looked unfinished to me. That was just my opinion. I'm not saying it is unfinished. It just looked that way to me, so that's why I put this piece in here. So let me show you what we're going to be using. And we're going to be using some new product and some old product and some not Stampin' Up product. So this is the die we're using. Oops, that says Best Wishes. That goes together like so. Oh, I've got that already done, and that's not a Stampin' Up one, that was just something I've had in my stash for a long time. Hearts of Elegance, and I'm just using the Send in Lots of Love. That's all I'm using out of there. I'm going to use these gilded gems, which are now retired, but they go with the paper that I'm using, which is a retired paper as well. So let me show you what you need, and then we can get on with it. Hey, what do you reckon? Okay, for our main card we need a piece that measures 8 1/4 by 5 7/8, and then we need another piece that measures 4 1/8 by 5 7/8. Now that's our main card pieces. So this is called main card and this is called the card back. I've already done one, so this is what it's going to look like. So you're going to need, where is it? Come back. 3 pieces for your first layer, or for the insert and the front, that measure 5 7/8. Oh, sorry, 5 5/8 by 3 7/8. Now I've marked that one, so I can show you what to do. So those are 2 of those. And then you'll need 3 pieces of designer series paper. Now you can use either side, but I'm using this pretty side, and this is a very old paper, but I wanted to use some of it up because I had a little bit of it left still. And these measure 3 5/8 by 5 3/8. So you'll need 3 of those. That's my saying for the front of the card, so that looks really quite pretty. Let's pop that over there. Okay, for the outer triangles, which are those triangles in there, not these ones in here, they're the inner triangles, these outer triangles, you're going to need a piece of card for layer 1 that measures 2 1/2 by 2 1/8, and then if you want your paper to be the same on both sides, so that they both look the same, you're going to need 2 pieces that measure 1 3/4 by 2 inches. You're also, for your writing panel on the inside, you're going to need a piece that measures 3 inches by 3 inches, and then your white piece to go on top for writing on, which is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. For your bookmark, you need a piece that is 4 inches by 2 inches, and because I'm actually doing it the other way, I've made this a full length, so this is 1 3/4 by 3 3/4. But if you've got an edge punch, this will have to be adjusted so that it fits on. So it could be 3 1/2 down or 3 1/4, depending on what your punch is. Okay, so let's pop all of those on one side, and we'll start by scoring our main card. Oops, let me get my scorer. So we only need the one piece, which is the main card piece, and we're going to score this on the long side, which is the 8 1/4 side, with our small ball at the 4 1/8 mark. Now anybody that knows me knows that this colour is not one of my favourites. I don't know why. Everybody goes, oh, but it's so beautiful. But I actually don't like it very much. Okay, so I'm going to do that. We need to keep our stylus because we're actually going to bring this back in, and we're going to bring in our ruler, and we're going to measure 2.5 inches down that centre line, and we're going to put a mark with our pencil. And then from there we're going to measure out 3 inches from that centre line out to the left and out to the right. So 3 inches that way and 3 inches that way. Once we've done that, we still need our ruler and we need our stylus, and we're going to score from that mark down to that centre mark at the 2.5 inch mark. So we're going to score that like so, and we're going to do the same on the other side. So from that mark all the way out to there. Okay, so now we're going to remove those marks because we don't want them showing. Let's get rid of those. And we're going to fold this. So it doesn't matter which way you fold it as long as you fold it. So you want to fold it. I'm folding away from me, so I'm folding it as a mountain fold, and I'm just doing it gradually, just really gradually, like so and like so, which means that this one in the middle here is going to be a valley. Once we've got that, and we've got that right in that corner, which is the hardest part, so we're going to just give that a bit of a twist, and we bring in our bone folder just to give that down. So that's going to take a little bit of effort, and depending on, like, this card is actually quite thick. It always feels very thick. I think it's the dye that they use that makes this card always feel really, really thick. So once we're happy with that, we can then pop that into the middle like so, and then we're going to bring them over and making sure that it's nice and even. You'll see then that it's nice and even down that middle there too. Once we're happy with that, we're going to pop that down and we're going to give that a good burnish off. And give it a good burnish on both sides. It's much better if it's burnished on both sides. Oh, excuse me, I've got an itchy nose today. And if we can, we're going to just try and give that one in the middle there a bit of extra burnish. So we have a piece so that now it actually goes in like so. Alright, so we can pop that piece on one side for a moment, and we can work on our other pieces, which are these two pieces that are left, because we've already done one. I've already done one, but I needed to do two with you so I could show you how that went. So there's the one that I've done. So let's pop that one out of the way so we don't get muddled up with these two for the inside. Okay, so what we've done is you need to mark down on the left side. So I've actually popped this one, that's the left side, so I've put an L there so when I was drawing my lines I knew where to go. And we're going to mark this down at 2.5 inches on the left hand side, and then 3 inches along the top from that left hand side. Once we've done that, we're then going to bring in our trimmer again. Well, we haven't brought it in yet, but I had because I'd already done the other one. And we're going to pop this in here so that that mark there is in the track and this mark here is in the track. Are you happy with where they are? I'm going to chop that piece off like so. We'll pop that on one side because you're going to need to keep that. So I'll just put this out of the way for a minute. Now for me, because I did that on the other side, I need to just give that a burnish down so that it's nice and flat because of that being gold paper. So now I want to put the two pieces together like so that the other one matches up, and then I can mark this. So because I'm going to do it that way, I'm going to do it this way so that they're together. That way I can say that they're definitely right, and I'm going to just draw a line right across there like so that I can see that that is now 2.5 inches down and 3 inches to that corner. So we need to keep that piece, don't lose that. And we're going to cut this one to match. Okay, I'm just going to pop that down there. And as you can see, now we have the two pieces that are exactly the same. And then when they're opened up to go on the inside of the card, they're going to match up. But we still need to keep hold of those, so don't lose those for a minute. Alright, so now we've got our two pieces of designer series paper, and we've done the same. I've actually marked the back of this one with the left mark. So this is the left hand side, turn it over, so I've put an L there, and we're going to measure again down 2.5 inches from the top, left hand side, and 3 inches in from the top left hand side up to the edge. And I'm going to do exactly the same as before. I'm going to cut that piece off. Get that right in the right place. So hang on to this piece. This piece then, I'm just going to run my finger along there because I've cut that on the opposite side to what I would normally cut. Will fit onto there just beautifully. Okay, so let's just pop that out of the way for a minute. And we're going to do exactly the same as before. This time we're going to pop the two together back to back. Oops. Back to back. Front to front, sorry. Like so. And making sure that they're even along the three sides. There. Well, and the four side at the top. We're going to lay that one down, and we're going to draw that line across there again. That way we know that this one is going to match the other one, and then we're going to then pop this in. I just found this the easiest way to do this. I found that way I knew that I had them cut the correct way. My blade is definitely needs taken down. Now I can see that I didn't go quite on that line, so I'm just going to trim that back just that tiny bit. Because of the pattern on the paper, I just found it a little bit difficult. And once again, just run your finger along that edge, and that takes that burr out. Alright, so now we have our two pieces that go into the middle of the card, and they're going to go with the short edge to the middle of the card. And then these pieces are going to fit on like so. So we might as well glue those down now, ready. Let's hope my glue is going to work today. It's been quite a warm day. It's a muggy day. It's not hot outside. It's muggy. And once it's muggy, my glue takes a few minutes to want to work properly. We've got those bits over there. Let's just pop them out of the way for a moment. I'm going to glue that together. one to there, like so. So we'll glue those to the inside of the card now. So we'll lay our card flat and we'll glue one this side and one this side. If we do that now, we will not get muddled up with which is the front one, which is the back one, or the inside ones. Or at least I find that's the easiest way for me anyway. And while we're doing this, we might as well pop the other one the same shape on the front of the card. So we'll close the card up and we'll pop this piece out of the way for now because we still want that later. But we'll glue this one to the front of the card. Now you can rub these marks off if you want, but they're not going to be seen because they're going to be glued down. So they're being glued down. I don't see why we need to cut them off. Rub them off, sorry. Rub them off. Okay, so that's the front of our card and our inside. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring these pieces in and we're going to work out that that one goes there and that one goes there, and the same with these. We're going to pop that one onto that one and that one onto that one. Move our card out of the way. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut these two pieces first. So as you can see, we have a long side, a medium length side and a short side. See, that's shorter than that, and that one's longer than that. So we want that medium length side there, and we're going to do that on both of them. So that's why we need to put them together like so, because we can see which way they go. And we're going to bring in our trimmer again, and we're going to trim these along that medium length side, because we're going to bring it into our trimmer and we're going to trim these at 3/8 of an inch. So that's the 1/8 mark after the quarter. Like so. And we're going to pop that back there so we know where it goes, and then we're going to do exactly the same again. So this way we want to take 3/8 of an inch off. That's the 3/8 mark there. And now we have two pieces. If you pop them together like that, you will see that they're the same size. But we need to open them up like that so we can see which one goes which side. These pieces are rubbish. So now we're going to do exactly the same along this medium side. We're going to cut off 3/4 of an inch. So we're going to put that in there, and we're going to cut off 3/4 of an inch. And we know that that one's going to go onto there, like so. So we're going to do that again. Come here. Can't even pick it up. That's our side we're cutting off, because that's the medium length side. So we want to cut off 3/4 of an inch. And we can pop that onto there, and we can see that that fits on there beautifully. These two pieces are now to go into the rubbish bin. Okay, let's glue those together. So we haven't quite finished with our trimmer yet, but we do a little bit each time. It's just easier to do it like so. So we don't get all muddled up with all these pieces going every which way. Okay, we bring in our main card, and we've got them still sitting on the correct side, so they are now going to fit into those panels just there. Okay, so that's our inside of our card done, but we want to put a couple of panels on this piece here. So this is where this piece comes in, where you've got one piece that measures 2 inches by 1 3/4 of an inch, and 2 pieces that measure, well, I can't read that from that distance. Let me see if I've got that right. Sorry, this is the one piece that measures 2.5 by 2 1/8, and 2 pieces that measure 1 3/4 by 2 inches. So we're going to pop them there, and we're going to bring in our trimmer again, and this time we're going to cut this one on the diagonal from left to right or right to left. It doesn't really matter. Well, it might matter because I haven't got from left to right, because I've got paper that's one-sided. I'm going to pop that into the middle. So we've got one piece that's going to go there. Excuse me. And the other piece, I'm going to have to cut another piece of this because of the way I've got one-sided paper. So I will go and get another piece. Oh, I never even gave that a piece of thought. Oh, luckily I had another piece on the side, so I want a piece that's 2 1/8. Oh, that's not big enough. Okay, I'm back again. So, because we cut this piece like so, that is, and I didn't cut that right on that corner, so let me pop that in there and cut that right on that corner. That's better. Alright, so because I cut this one left to right, I need to cut this one right to left. And they actually look, one looks shiny and one doesn't it? I don't think that's, I think it's just the way the light's shining on it. Okay, so because I've got paper that is one-sided, I need to make one way and one the other, like so. And that light does look funny on that piece. I'm going to cut another piece of that because that's shiny. And I can't do that way, so let me do that. What's this piece? Not big enough. Okay. 2 1/8 by 2 1/2. That's alright, because if I make the card again, I'll have 2 pieces the opposite way. So we cut that one right to left, so this one will be cutting left to right. Okie dokie, let's do that then. We've done that. I didn't even give that a thought when I was doing it with the silver, the paper that with no pattern on the back. So we need one that way and one that way, and so I have 2 left over for another project. So while we've got those, we're going to do exactly the same with these, because I want both of those the same way, and that's why I can't believe that I didn't even think about it. So we're going to cut one of these left to right, and the other one right to left. So again, we will have 2 pieces left over for another project. And again, we're going to pop the one that measures the right way on that one, and this one will be the right way on that one. And these 2 will be the right ways for these 2. So I can use up the rest of this paper and do that. So we're going to glue these together. Let's move those out of the way. I think they're shining into the picture. So just be aware of that. If you're using paper that's the same on both sides, you know, like just normal cardstock, like what I've done on the other ones, where, oops, come here, card. This is just brown under here. You won't need to worry about that. Whatever you cut, you just turn the other one over. But if you've got paper that has got white on the other side, you're going to need to cut 2 of these. So then we're going to glue these into place on this side. Now it's easier to do this now before we put the back of the card on. So that was a good little tip that I learned as we went along with you. All that, you know, even I cannot think straight some days. Okay, so we've done that. Our card is now ready for us to put our back on, which is this piece here. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to open the card up again, and I'm going to use some double-sided tape, and I'm going to put double-sided tape down this short side near the score line, this long side along the edge, along this bottom edge. I just found this easier. You can just use just your glue if you want, but I just found this the easiest way. Okay, so I'll pop them down nice and tight. I'm going to pull the tape off. And then I'm going to run some glue along those taped edge, along the tape. This gives you the wiggle room. Now we don't want anything here at all, anything, because that's where we're going to use our pocket. Now we're going to close the card up. We're going to make sure that this then fits onto the back of this card nicely. By doing this, you've got that wiggle room to make sure you get your sides and everything all matched up. We want all our sides matched up, top, side, bottom and the other side. We'll give that a nice push down then, once we know it's all nicely. And we have our piece here then, we've got our back panel. So we're going to bring in our last piece of our triangle piece, and that's going to fit into that square there, or that triangle there, section of that back card. Which will now give that back of that card along that edge that stability that it needs for standing up. So that's our card. Let's do our bit of stamping for the inside, and because this is square, so that's 3 by 3 and 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. It doesn't matter which way round you stamp it. And sending lots of love. We'll go into the middle. And we can glue those 2 pieces together then. this can go on the inside of the card for you to, so that you can write your message and sign your card. Okay, so that's the inside of our card done. Let's do our oh, excuse me, our bookmark next. So I'm going to just round the corners on all 4 of these because I'm not doing a fancy top. And I'm going to do exactly the same on this piece. And then I'm going to glue them together. And I did have a piece of ribbon here, but I don't know where it's gone. Oh my goodness, what happened to my piece of ribbon? Oh my goodness. Oh, there it is, it's on the floor. Ouch. My piece of ribbon, now that's a bit more than 6 inches long, but you only need a piece about 6 inches long. So I'm going to actually just punch a hole in the top, about there. So it's in the middle, but this way, and wherever it looks good for you at that side. So we're going to pop those 2 ends together. And because we want, like this card, to have this loop piece in the front, we need to pop this in from the back. So we pop them through there from the back. Pop these 2 ends through there and you'll get that loop piece just there, like that. Because this ribbon is one of them ribbons that slips, I'm going to use a glue dot to hold it in place. Where's my tool? Couldn't even find my tool now. So here's that glue dot. So I'm going to just lift that up a tiny bit and pop a glue dot underneath there. You won't see because once we've pulled this through, and push that glue dot down onto that and it won't move. So we can then trim these up to whatever length you want. Okay, so this now, being our bookmark, will actually slide inside this piece here, like so. Isn't that gorgeous? So all we've got to do now is we're going to put our best wishes on the front here, and I'm just going to put that on there with some dimensionals. Please don't ask me where I got this one from because I have no clue. I've had it in my stash for a while. I'm not sure if it was one of Mum's or whether, I need some small ones, whether it was one that I'd purchased a while back. Really couldn't tell you. So that's those. Let's pull the backing off of them. I'm going to pop out best wish. I'm going to lay that flat because it's just easier to put it on. I'm going to put my best wishes on a little bit of an angle like so, and then I'm going to bring in these lovely gold accents. I'm going to use the larger ones. And that's our card for today. Well, I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me put that out of the way. Let me put my pin in my glue, because otherwise I can go indoors and I'll forget it. And it's already starting to dry in there, which is annoying. But there you go. So that's our card. Let me get, oh come on, I'm having trouble grabbing everything today. That's our our other one. Again, please don't ask me this happy birthday. I've got no idea where I got that from either. It may be the same as the other one. It may be that it was one of Mum's. It might be that There's one I've had in my stash for a long while. I couldn't tell you. So if you've enjoyed today's card and you'd like the written tutorial for that, head down below here to Di's Den for Stamping, Crafting and Tutorials. That's my Facebook group. There you'll find the tutorial. It's free. All you have to do is join if you're not already a member. Please answer the question, otherwise you will not be accepted into the group. This will lay flat after a little while. So I'm going to just have to put something on that because this is a lot thicker card than this card. I don't know why, and then using the gold as well. So let's just pop that on there so it lays flat for a second. If you'd like to leave me a comment, I'd love to hear from you. I'm sorry about the mix up in the middle with the pieces, not thinking that you would need to have 2 pieces of that if you were using single-sided paper. Don't know where my mind was, but never mind. Please subscribe, and if you would like to know more about this card or the products that I have used, even though all of these are retired, this paper and set is retiring at the end of well, I think it's in the last chance of the online exclusive, so when it's gone, it's gone. So if you'd like to know more about them, just give me a hoy and I can let you know. If you'd like to join my group, I would love that, and I will see you all again next week. Bye for now.